Again, tote this only if you find it applicable to your own selves. Adorned of bling today in honoring the wealth of humbling spirit with recognition of the diligent work and job of a job my parental units pulled from ancestors and spirit guides through the abundance of whom I am. Bling, 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 bling. For example, this here, were it not for this Godog tag, I may have, other than have been found in desperation to remember who I was, incessantly bawling in the crowd as a 4-year-old at Disneyland. And today, from the angelic language of Zebu, we've pulled this symbol here, and this symbol is representative of honesty, and it's in the angelic language of Zebu. It's pronounced Ka-na. Ka-na. Its color is green. Gemstone is peridot. Physical body is throat. Honesty begins with seeing the truth within. There is much strength in honesty. It has the potential to open many sealed doors. Honesty reaches to the depth of the soul. Honesty remains a beautiful goal. At its center is truth. That is the place from which to live. Kana. Blessings. Luminat. And to ease mind, a mockingbird call of what nostalgia may sound like of a schoolyard sprinkler system. Emotional intelligence may be in partitions through the transmutation of resiliency in variations of vulnerability. This is an 888 portal to the prosperity of our overall abundance as channelers of lucrative soul and financiers of our futures. A community bank of divining wills headed by Lop It Off yours truly, as this will adjust as Hydra to a whack-a-mole for that immortal body double or twin in spirit and or flesh of yours falling to pass in basket for that woo-ju to voodoo style prayer of what may as might be winged of mantis dragon of monstrosities to mayhem thimble stitches with that golden threading, the all-seeing eye of needle in haystack of our ever-growing illusory of an escaping artist to a Rumpelstiltskin, oblivious of the silver linings we may be unawares of our roles as thespian for and or of Rapunzel. These glyphs I have brought to you from the ethereal myths of magical thinking here to the legends I am reading to you. Here are a culmination of readings I had put aside of filming and upstreaming to the virtual clouds for various overriding survival of this vessel's instinctual natures at peril of identifying loss of guidance, lucrative soul in the controlled folly of thriving intents as to maintaining buffers shielding one's heart from an excess of emotional dross. As such, this statement should in turn prepare you for any repeating patternizations you may recognize within the exposures your nakedness will be donning to disguise your own selves, otherwise Medusa of blinding beauty and or regal majesty. So, either stay in oasis of your own private Idahos and be gone of furthering your listening eyes for seeing ears, though what's oncoming here, or buckle up Bronco to saddle up Sally to sit with Muffet to fluff thistledown for pillow talk, busting glass of water at the ready of bedside, or whatever drinks may be available resting within arm's reach as we take on the reins of this oncoming ride. This is an excerpt from Nuanced Ingenuities of Methodologies for Thaumaturgies being showcased for adoption with nominal worthy fee for the consensus within the collective, choosing to care for investment risks in a timed release fashion contingent on disciplines fortified by receivers' capacities to transmit respects that honor the celebration of disseminators persevering a controlled folly within the intent of projections that have aligned with the tiger spirit being known as Searming and the jaguar protector spirit, feather on the headdress of the platypus-toothed, goose-billed, winged rainbow serpent, whom indigenous earthlings have honored with the name from history as being Quetzalcoatl, and possibly the thunderbird of the ancient North Americas, amongst others the world over. Tease her, please her, coax him, coerce him. Hana prana mana, mana prana hana. XYZ PDQ. Encompassing coaxial tilt, jilt, and momentums of geospadio-nodal interplays, stirring the colloquial cauldron of the quantum soup and ladling various crystallizations of creation available as guides of quantum collapses of our present, harnessing the solidifications of our historical Akash as an anchor for our in-sync futures. There are two mirrors, or two paths you can go by, Zeppelin, within the prism of the 5 variations which we hereby lend as clue to key mysteries unlocking their myths to legends through our glyphs being vocalized from sigils by yours, liars of these soon to be other than lonely truths. And these crystallizations of quantum collapses available at hint to your guidance are 10 to 1, 1021, 10 to 1, hereby proliferable as decimals within their number to wing. Down, up, side to side, forward, back, within, without, round, re-round, navigations of a shared shard of Merlin in prism of a quantum time crystal, bringing variations of chroma and hue through the following translucency. Within the interactivities of our pentacular parallelogram double star path tarot card spread, these thaws of what was grown from our timed crystallizations may be interpreting as follows for your likes of shares. 1. First, each elemental node on our elemental medicine wheel, may be representative of pulls from solidifications we are moving from our pages of history through our present intimating natures. Second, each bridge path are considerations as to the futures nodes may be being applied to. And third, each crosswalk of bridging paths may be indicative of how the dichotomies of quantum reflectivities influence the bridges connecting at their respective crossroads within the timing of crystallizations for the reader and or client of our multifaceting double bubble triple dare you star path living book readings. The designation of the theme with the 11th card as effective interplay may be guessed at, and or intuition drawn by the reader reading for others, whom are the ultimate interpreters of how this may affect the overall stagecraft of the fall of sand through the hourglass they may be navigating. This presently is a loose map that this cartographer of the possibilities of a time traveler's journeys, possibly a moniker for the destiny of a tarot deck in the making here, may be logged for any captaining shipmate for cross-reference of checks and balances that may be fluctuating as this honeycomb of a hex gets milked for the antidote of the venoms that may be exposed for transmutations as fate of those gestating for exposures to this culmination of luck, as may vary when we are applying our hypothetical solutions to our ongoing approaches to any problems cropping up on our paths to our mounting destinies. So in shorthand, that's what's crackalacken with our work in progress in acronym of W.I.P, with or without a sum of salt. So you are hereby advised. Experiment with these methodologies of applying theorems at your own volition, harboring zero accountability to yours truly, as the responsibility of that choice is now in your court with sovereignty. Simmer on stewing on this, which to douse, let us entertain enlightening glows with this flit of tallow to our wickedries. Dear lords and ladies of our buffs on the down low, ancestors who may now be of our higher futures, elves, if in the center source of the whole entirety of each and every participle of the way of God is listening to this go dog's howl to moonlight on what we are following through with here, if and you may be pleased to turn your telescoping sunbeam of attentions spanning on these focal pointednesses. I am hereby asking of you to align me with the guiding light of our waters here, to appropriate me with the bodies of wherewithal to attract a living partnership with the forever person and or persons, whom would being best birthday suited for the sharing of the various futures I have invested and built my time and your energy into over the years, that have yet to show for themselves as blossoming fruitions in mine own's immediately perceivable by and by, through personalized environmental sensitivities in our reality of celebratory accolades and mutually communal joys to bliss for the entirety of that burgeoning cornucopia to date and dine. Amen Ra, Ho Ptah, Tifareth, Hallelujah, whose Anahana Jo I in the highest of those heavenly broken crown mountains at imagination's towering range, or whomsoever has what homage works best for allure of our collective in the ending of our prayers that phoenix as new beginnings from XYZ PDQ. And if in any y'all may be pleased to please, let us any contentions reside in the contingencies of forgiveness on coming to come again and again, bliss after joy to bliss, from new endings to elding beginnings, and from old endings to new beginnings. Let us of we allow being presently me, know whether you are warmed or singed by the distribution of evidence cluing you in as a struggle with when and where to celebrate, honor, and or respect this here acknowledgement of what love is capable of being for we of us. And we of us will persevere much to match with any of all gratitude for such contingencies of what may being comprehending or presenting sense of forgiveness. And beyond, above, and below all else, throughout any thirsty deserts of the real, enjoy your ectoplasm in cartography of navigations to and from the veils of what portals lives in umbra of all becomings as ephemeral mirage at oasis amidst the ethereal and or what may be moving and shaking through and or from the virtual clouds in the astral cascade. Au revoir and Akashawa. We interrupt this program to bring you the portions of our works that have previously been held back during an upgrade of written surmise in an attempt to win the love of acknowledgement and core for pains to bliss through joy, for the overriding from the collective who are of and seem to be, from this vessel's perspective, in the current ratings of from measurable judgment, a select few, apparently in a quandary of how they choose to harbor and or honor one's artistries as blessings of other than remorse, respectively. We are asking other than for your heart and hand, as we request your heart of hand, or your hand of heart. There we go. We have decided to surrender what we were otherwise prone to our senses of survival and self-worth to eke out incrementally through a timed releasing show of restraint. save as we have experienced so-called breadcrumbing of ourselves, happy to gobble up as may a happy flock of birds at a city parkway. We are hereby preferring to relinquish this sense of controlled intent with the following full read of was other than going to be invested in full of risk and trusting. If you find yours elves able to harbor any of our efforts here as worthy in value to cargo, please hunt the means to bring us down with that game in mind of an honor through me to one such as Artemis or any other ascended master whom may find joy in blending with us in this possible celebratory jubilee. So, without further ado, here is more of that expert in its full, raw vulnerability. As am I am excitement, possibly beyond blockbuster video, for a universal difference through Pontiac and filibuster, as my wealth is self-built and may be won for shares. Watch out, heads up for guillotine, while you unbound may yet fly free, as today we may be on the border of minding our P's and Q's. Burning that candle of desire from both ends, follow and thumb up my Asperger's syndrome to unplug more of my gaseously humorous virtual flatulence of gargantuan urinal proportions? Or might I suggest to void enlightening us with that match as to leave it up to heaven's everlasting light to be so incessantly explosive? We gotta have a little fun in life, right? Okay. And what are we going to call for douse of which we are flitting tallow through our wickedries? Coming soon to a virtual theater window near you, LUMINAUGHTY Productions presents the methodologies of authenticity you will find worthy of a bit more for bite of your appraisal, save as would otherwise be the dross of loss, kin to some kind of Black Hawk Down radiation of a half-life on death row, with this golden ticket to them nitty-gritty of our oncoming opportunity, hereby pitching sap to resonate risks for some net returns of one's gross investments. Want to learn from regretting that need? Pay up to support your comprehension, or live what will be worse for wear of masked lies in deceitful squalor. That's kind of a blessing in disguise if you get it. So live wild and free to discipline that power of choice regularly in bounds, and taken to leaps of heart and beyond, as to mend and or settle any unclear conscience conscientiously. Brace yours, elves, for the upcoming works to stagecraft of our ownership of membership for open sales reprisals of a thespian of wickedry to fortify our tallows, in kind of kin to flit the light of nourishing will, or be lost for the unknown duration of a spell. In an ever-growing darkness? To be or not to be? may be more of a wise choice for an answer between the two, circumstantially, than a query. How one or more may build and access collapse of quantum time crystals with an no as below, so above yes, and connotation essentially from the root ground up to truncate and branch into 5 or more circumstantial futures to choose from in a colloquial canopy of experiential surfaced reflection presented in all its various itemizations of cornucopia. And then some yes and no problems as possible answers through available solutions. Ask and receive how to apply accrued luck to manipulate fate in your favor and align with your choice destinies. Remember, to other than look back if you decide to throw that pinch of salt over your shoulder, and keep to your transcendental hygienes. Light your candles, stir your stone soups, blow on your incenses, waft that cedar and sage to feather rinse your auras or what beads of downs swimming off birds' back, and then pinch out that flaming awareness with a spittle of prayers, as this road of ours may get bumpy in the night, and at times unchained. Again, and please do forgive the lucrative soul here with by being flirtatiously flirted. May your fate be kind to you, may your luck be accruing, and may your destiny to you be of open arms. Au revoir, and Akash.